Hey guys, this is Billy from AdultCello.com, and today I want to review 3 of the most popular bow hold aids on the market. Alright, so it's no secret that developing a tension-free, supple bow grip is one of the biggest challenges for adult learners. I myself remember picking up the bow for the first time, carefully following my teacher's instructions and coaxing my fingers and thumb into the correct place, and then feeling everything instantly stiffen up the minute I tried to make a sound. It was like quick drying cement. For months. In light of this tendency to over-squeeze the bow and burn out the muscles in your right hand, as well as limit your ability to pull a beautiful sound, people have developed aids to help you develop a better bow grip. I went ahead and ordered the 3 most popular ones that I know of off of Amazon, and now I'm going to rank them for you from least to most recommended. Honestly, I get asked about these constantly, but I've never actually used any of them, so I also was super intrigued to see, if any of them seem to work and how well. Alright, so let's dive in. Coming in 3rd place is the Chelant Bow Hold Teaching Aid. Okay, so here we go. This is what it looks like. Let's give you a quick second. When I ordered it, it was $32.95 on Amazon. It's shaped like an elephant and made out of silicone rubber. Okay, so to put this on, you unscrew the button of the bow and remove the frog, then slide the Chelant onto the stick of the bow and reattach the frog. Then you just push the Chelant snugly into place over the frog. So when trying this bow aid out, I actually found it very cumbersome and bulky, but then I tried over squeezing like crazy with my fingers and thumb, and things started to make a little more sense. Because it's large and made of silicone, it would be much more comfortable to squeeze and over squeeze versus just jamming your poor thumb into the hardwood of the stick and or the frog. And I do see how nestling your thumb into the trunk of the Chelant might help you learn how to develop a bow hold with a bent thumb that doesn't instantly lock out. Okay, so my concern about the Chelant after trying it out is that it's so large and so different from holding an actual cello bow that I would worry about someone failing to make the transition to playing without the bow hold aid and then simply deciding to play with it permanently. As an aid, if it helps you, I've got no problem with that. But I do think it gets in the way of comfortably and effectively employing more advanced bow techniques like collé, and it actually could become a hindrance of sorts if you used it for too long. Also, I'm mentioning this only because it would be something that I would be self-conscious about, but the Chelant's kind of conspicuous size might make you feel a little bit like the only kid on the block who still has training wheels on his bike. Keep in mind, they sell black ones, so it won't necessarily stand out like this intensely blue one, but it's just something I, had to mention. All right, moving on to 2nd place. Here we have the Wada Bow Grip Aid. So let me just show you what that looks like. Here is the side with the indent for your thumb. And that's what the other side looks like. This was $29 when I got it off Amazon. It's made of rubber and definitely wins the award for easiest installation. To put it on your bow, you simply clamp it onto the bow and position it so that it is centered over the ferrule, which is the little metal piece at the bottom of the frog. Super easy. To be honest, I think this is a great bow hold device. It's a very simple design and it feels ergonomic for both my thumb and my 2nd and 3rd fingers. And its slightly bulbous shape allows those fingers to take a natural curve as would be present in a relaxed bow hold. One thing I want to mention is that the Wada didn't feel as good when I was over squeezing like crazy, which I actually see as a plus. The last thing you want is a bow aid that becomes sort of an enabler of sorts for the problem that sent you searching for a bow hold aid in the first place. I also found it felt like less of an intrusion on my typical bow hold than the Chelant. On the downside, I didn't feel as able to utilize my pinky finger for string crossings, for example, but I might be getting ahead of myself because if I were, battling a locked out thumb and over tight bow hold, that pinky finger really wouldn't be doing anything anyway. The point being again that if this device is helping you develop a more relaxed, balanced bow hold, then that is great. But I think you need to approach this thing like training wheels that should come off as soon as you're ready. And so now in 1st place is the String Vision Bow Grip. All right, so let me just show you what that looks like right here. Single piece of rubber. That's where your thumb goes. That covers the entire bottom of the frog. This was $18 on Amazon when I got it. It's by far the smallest and simplest design, and it's really just a thin rubber sleeve that goes over the frog. What it features is a cavity for the thumb that will help you orient your thumb in the correct manner. That alone can be a huge source of tension for cellists learning how to hold a bow. Now, just because it's a thin rubber sleeve doesn't mean it's easy to put on. This was definitely the hardest to install, even though it goes right over the frog without unscrewing anything. Think of putting on like a full body wetsuit, one size smaller than you'd prefer. And since the rubber is thin, you'll want to be careful not to rip it if you try to just yank the thing into place. So I was honestly a little undecided for a moment about whether to give my top recommendation to this or the Wada grip. Here's my reasoning for choosing String Vision. It comes the closest to feeling like a regular bow grip, and it's also least likely to interfere with advanced bow techniques or little things you need to do with individual fingers as you play. So, of the 3 bow aids being reviewed, this is the one that I wouldn't necessarily advise you to take off as soon as possible. To me, it feels similar to the little bit of rubber tubing that I use on my bows, just a bit bulkier than I prefer. However, this is where I get a little bit torn. Because if you're currently suffering from a true case of granite grip, I'm wondering if the String Vision would be as much relief and guidance as the Wada. I think the String Vision will definitely be an improvement over a naked bow stick and frog, but the Wada might be a good choice if you're really, really struggling. As an analogy, maybe I would see the Wada as like a walking boot for a sprained ankle and the String Vision as a pair of orthopedic walking shoes. Both can provide comfort and relief, okay? The Wada walking boot is more intense and will change your natural stride, so it should be graduated from, but it might be best for a serious injury, in this case, a lot of bow hold tension. The String Vision orthopedic shoe is something that I believe you could use indefinitely, and I do think that it would aid an adult learner starting out to orient their thumb in the right way. It would also be less of a transition if you decide to move to a little piece of rubber tubing or nothing at all in the future. So there you have it. My top recommendation is the String Vision bow grip followed by the Wada grip. There are links to both below in the description if you would like to grab one. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks, and see you next time.